Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Professor Loki, and in this video, we'll be talking about Loki's perspective tier list. So I done this a few years ago, where I had, I think in season 5, I made a tier list of what god counters Loki specifically. So I'm making another one a few years later. It's currently patch 7.1. I'll be primarily be focusing in Loki solo, but as well as Loki, conquest counters. So this is specifically going to be conquest and a little bit oriented towards solo. Not always. For example, Agni is not a solo lane character, but nonetheless, kind of annoying to deal with. Still counters me on paper, and I'll be trying to look at this on paper as much as I can, but of course I'm going to be, all tier lists are biased, so I'll be subject to, so this is going to be subject to experience and anecdotals. So let's get this started. Achille is automatically going to be S. He is very frustrating, very hard to contest. He heals you, he heals himself, he gains protections, more power, crowd control reduction. He gets too much in one ability for doing nothing but pressing 2. His 1 stuns, which counters your invisibility. His 3 is just a free poke and can clear. I mean, honestly, this god's a little BS, and I hope this guy gets nerfed, because why does he have so much? He is the most bloated warrior in the game, I think, if in the top of my head. Agni, I'm going to put him at A, because he's not being played that much, so this is where the experience and bias comes in. He's not being played too often, but he still counters Loki pretty hard on paper. He stuns you. He has an AoE stun. He has dot damage. Every time you go on him, he dashes away. And if you ult his dash, then you're in his dash, because he's going away from you and you're behind him. So that means you're in his path of flames. So realistically, this god is very good against Loki. AMC is going to be an A as well. He is not being played, but he does counter Loki pretty hard. He reveals Loki to his entire team with his passive Bs. So he is definitely a nuisance. However, he would be higher. I will put him at S actually if he was being played, but he's not. So I'm going to put him at just A. Wash. Okay, so this guy is probably going to be at C. C or B. No, I'm gonna put him at D actually, because he's not being played at all. No one plays this god, and Loki has no problem fighting him. His decoy counters 1, so if Outwash throws his 1 at you, little thing that slows you and explodes, you can use your decoy to block it. So, and it's very predictable when Outwash is gonna use his combo ability. So. But of course, he does counter you a little bit on paper. He has a lot of dot damage with his 3 and his ult. Also, I believe, and I could be wrong, you can use your decoy to block Alpwash's ult as well. Though this is very niche and isn't very impact. It doesn't really matter. Again, he is not being played. He has no mobility. He's very easy to counter with his decoy. He's just kind of not useful. Amaterasu is gonna get a B plus here. She would be a little bit higher, but unfortunately, I don't see her being played too much now. That's just because maybe because of me. I have Diamond. I'm Diamond with almost Masters MMR, but I don't see her being played as much, and she's also not a problem. And the reason being is because she this is the experience part. She has to either clear the wave or poke me. She can't be like an Achilles and do both. So she focuses on clearing, I clear, we're set. The only thing that she counters you for is her 3. She can, if you stealth, she can immediately silence you and get you out of stealth, but you can just ult away. So she can theoretically never kill you. Again, and she can't poke you because she has to deal damage to the wave, or so as long as you don't stand in the middle of the wave, you'll be fine. If you watch Dragon Story, he hides in the outside areas, so yeah, pretty good. Also, she has very bad chase potential because she doesn't have any way of slowing you besides her ultimate. Okay, so on her, this god is going to be an A plus here. He is being played, and as well as he is a hard counter of Loki. In fact, he is one of the warriors I do not ever want to fight against. His 1 reveals you, not reveals you, but if you walk in his 1, the word immune pops up, telling on her that you're there. His 3 knocks you back, very hard counter. His ult makes him CC immune. He has a stun with his 2. He does a lot to counter you. He's also kind of tanky, and he also reduces your protections. All in all, this god is very scary, and I would avoid him as much as possible. Anubis is going to be probably a B plus. So Anubis is one of those situations where if he wraps you, you're dead. If he doesn't, he's dead, and that's all there is to say. If he misses his wrap, he's dead. If he lands his wrap, you're dead. Ulting him does kind of counter his ult because you are technically avoiding a bunch of ticks when you ult him because you're behind him. But if he's not a console player, he can easily just turn his camera instantly. And he also heals a lot. And because Loki doesn't get anti-heal, it's impossible to kill him if he is healing unless you burst him. So you have to kill him. It's either kill or die. It's, that's about it. Ao Kuang. I'm gonna put Anubis back to B here. Our Kuang is gonna be B plus, because his 1 is interesting. So his 1 is a huge counter to Loki. If he stealths, Loki can't do anything to him. If he ults, he can counter your ult with his 1, and that's about it. Loki counters his 2 with his decoy. So if Ao Kuang tries to auto attack you, throw your decoy, walk around the decoy. Ao Kuang will be hitting the decoy rather than you. And yeah, so you're technically immune to his 2. But his 1 is a hard counter because if you go on him, or if you ult him, he can vanish out of it. But if you do hit him first, he can't vanish because of the dot damage. But nonetheless, he's still a little bit annoying. Let's put him back to B here. He's not also being played, so I'm going to lower that too. Aphrodite. Okay, so this god is... Should have brought more water. This god is actually kind of... obviously, she counters Loki really hard. She has an ultimate that comes up every like 40 seconds. That makes her immune to 2 seconds and an ally. And it's always going to be a squishy, typically. So you can't kill her, and you can't kill the person she's linked to. All in all, very frustrating. Since Loki doesn't really get anti-heal most of the time, if your team doesn't, then she's impossible. She has dot damage. She can slow you when you're trying to attack her, and she can just knock you back and slow you now, so it's hard to catch up on her. Again, her ultimate and her 3 are like the huge major counters, as well as she can stun you out of your invis. So she is very scary. Avoid her much as possible. She is horrible. Apollo's gonna be A here simply because his 2, he gains protections. That's it. It's really just his 2. The reason why I put him at A is because of his 2 and his attack speed. So Apollo is one of those gods where he holds left mouse and he shoots 1,000,000 autos per second, and that's fairly annoying because of his passive. But his 2 is the primary issue. He gains like 30, something like that, protections. He instantly it's an instant stun or a mez, which is pretty impactful, and I never really want to fight against him. Now he isn't being played as much. So I will drop into B plus. I know AMC is not being played either, but if AMC wasn't played, I will put him again at A plus or S. But because he's so A right here. Arachne is not being played, but I'm gonna put him at A or A. Pronouns, whatever. Everyone's a he or she. I choose. Arachne. Yeah, she's obviously counters Loki. Her 3 reveals Loki to everyone. Her ult gets her a free escape. And she can heal you and stun you. She is a nightmare. Don't ever fight her. However, Loki decoy can protect you from her 1 or her 2. So if she hits the decoy once, her 1 is gone, which means she can only stun you, and that's it. So she will be higher, but she's not being played, and as well as Loki kind of counters her 2 if he decoys. So all in all, that's about it. Ares is going to be... oh man, this is hard. I'm putting a B plus. It's his oneness ult, kind of tells you exactly where Loki is, and that's really about it. And as well as 3, Ares is like a huge indirect counter to Loki. The difference between a direct and indirect counter is that direct is a reveal, meaning that people can see you, or they can see you, like your shape. Indirect counters is essentially anything that pops up here or anything that kind of sticks to you, like Osiris's tether, or Ares' chains. If he chains you and you go invisible, you can't see Loki, but you can see the chain that's linking to him. And for those who are, people are gonna ask this, Aphrodite link, Athena ult does not reveal Loki. You can't see the thing. The enemy cannot see it. Artemis here, okay, so she's kind of free food. Like if you see her kill her, your ult counters her ult. So all you have to do is vanish, do your combo, and then wait for her to ult. If she ults, ult her, and then the board can't stun you. You'll still take damage, but you can't be stunned if you time it properly. Ardeo is a pretty huge counter, but she isn't being played that often either. It's just her stun. That's really about it. Athena is gonna be at A because she can stun you, give people mitigations, slow you, deals a whole lot of damage, and she is being played. She's really good. A Wheelix. Okay, so she's gonna be at B here. She would be at C, but because she has a leap, which can counter Loki ult, how many times have you guys ulted in a Wheelix who jumped out of your ult or backflipped out of your ult? Her backflip and her jump can counter you pretty hard. However, Loki can counter her as well by throwing decoy. So if she hits your decoy, she will backflip a decoy instead of you, unless it's like an AoE. But you won't get rooted though. Bacchus is a pretty big counter to Loki. He does way too much damage. He can knock you up into a slow because his knock up is a slow, and he can burp you, which tells you which tells where Loki is because of the dot damage, and stun you, and again deals a lot of damage. Bacchus is gonna be a B here. So again, similar to Anubis, if Loki kills him first, he just dies. If Bacchus ults first, then Loki kind of dies. Why does Loki die? Well, the thing is that because Bacchus's Regurgitate ultimate has minions, what a smart Bacchus can do is hide in those minions to avoid Loki auto attacks. So if you guys don't know, if Bacchus can hide in his minions he spit out. So if you auto attack Bacchus, you'll hit the minions rather than him. That's why I'm putting a B. So if you attack him first, he's dead. If he attacks you, you're kind of dead unless you ult out. But even then, he can just chase you with his one, and because he's so fast, he can probably get you. Be careful around him. Baron Somni is gonna be a B+ here. He's not being played. If he was, I would put him A, but his 3 is annoying, but fortunately you can't. When he 3s you and you start moving slow into a route, he actually cannot see the snakes around you. The only thing he can see is the damage numbers. So it's not too big of an indication. His 2 heals people, and his ultimate is really good against Loki. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Loki, if Loki ults Baron, it cancels his ult as well as, but Loki does take the damage for some reason. Apparently, stabbing from behind takes the ult. Bastet. So Bastet's gonna be at a B here, or a C. She's very easy to kill. I know everyone's going to be talking about, oh, but her passive. Listen, Bastet is an ability-based character. She's just going to, all she will do is ult, use her abilities, and run away. That's all she does. She's not going to be like looking at the trail and try to find where you are. Like, maybe, but it's not likely. And it's either you'll be dead or you won't be dead. That's how that works. So Bastet is very killable. So again, you can just burst her down real quickly. The only thing that makes her from a D tier character is her leap. Her leap allows you to cancel Loki's ultimate. So any character who has leaps will never be in D tier, because they just have a way to escape your ultimate. So Bologna, B+. She can disarm you, which is pretty big. And she can stun you. And she's pretty annoying. You can't really kill her. And she does a lot of damage. But she's not being played, so that's why she's in B+. Okay, Bracken. B, simply because the only thing that counters you is the stun and the tremor. Everything else is kind of like whatever. And also, his 1 can be canceled with Loki's decoy. And if he ults you, you can just ult out. Camazot is going to be at S here. Camazot is currently very strong. And he's the best. I think he's one of the best soul laners right now. His 2 can be countered by Loki's decoy, but unfortunately this is not enough. His ability cooldowns are way too low, so he can just constantly spam you. He has a leap that goes like 50 million yards. So basically as far as your teleport almost. His one reveals you to himself only, and it's really annoying. This god is tanky, heals way too much, and can reveal you and kill you. Yeah, fun. Cerberus. Cerberus is going to be at a B plus here. He's not being played that often, and also his abilities are kind of... The only thing that's really bad about his ability is his... I mean, all of his abilities are kind of bad, but it can be avoided. That's the thing. Like his 2 can't be really avoided. You'll always see where Loki is, but his stun is avoidable just by juking. His ultimate can be avoided by just ulting away. It's just, I don't know. He's like a weaker version of Ares. Cernabog is going to be probably at yeah, definitely a C. Oh man. It's C or D. I'm gonna put him at C because of his attack speed. Most Cernabog's will build pure attack speed, so by having more attack speed, your odds of hitting Loki in his stealth is higher. So that's the only thing that's keeping him from being a D tier character. He has no way to escape Loki's ultimate, and Loki's ultimate counters his ult. So if he ults you, you can ult him to be CC immune his ults. You'll still take damage, but you won't be turned to a pig. You can use your 2 to block his... You can use your decoy to block his 2 as well. So all in all, not too hard to fight against. Chalk. Okay, so I'm putting him at C here. He's never played. And he's never played, and he has a lot of slows that you can just go right through with your Loki's Vanish. His ult is so delayed, you can just ult out. He's whatever. Just don't go near the wave and you should be fine. Yeah, Chunga. So in lane, she's a B plus. Not in lane, she's a B. So I'm gonna put her in between here. In lane, she's a B plus because she can poke you, deal damage to the minions, and as well as heal herself, and she can stun you, and she's immune to your damage. So that's a lot, but unfortunately this is a very selfish kind of kit. So she's immune only for herself, but the thing is, you're never going to be trying to kill Chunga. Chunga is not your target. You're not going to try to kill her. That's what I'm saying, like she's more B tier because in late game you don't really focus her. But she does, however, provide, you know, oh no, it's crown is that one item. I know what it is, Chad. I'm tired. I'm going to bed after this. It's Lotus Crown. Jesus Christ. She provides Lotus Crown to everyone, which is really good. That's 20 protections for everyone. It's a little nuts. So I'm putting her in between B to B plus. Chernabog is going to... Okay, so he's going to be at a B here. I'll put Chunga at B. Chernabog is interesting. So he's not being played at all. Or very rarely. But his ult does counter you. And his dash can cleanse your dot damage. So if you attack him and he goes into a wall, your damage immediately goes away. Chernabog is the only character in the game that can avoid Nuwa ult, that can avoid all current and future damage. In other words, if you, let's say Sylvanas ults Chernabog, if he goes into a wall, that Sylvanas ult goes away. So it's interesting. Chiron. Chiron is going to be at a C here, simply because he's so easy to kill. I fought against maybe a few good Chirons who knew what they were doing, but that's just skill difference. If on paper, Chiron can't do anything to Loki. I guess if he can hit you, you can stealth. He can use his 2 to know exactly where you are, but he is so easily killable. It's like once he ults, you're kind of he's just dead. He doesn't have any mobility. Even your decoy can kill him because he's so slow in his ult. Realistic, and nobody plays this god either. So I'm putting him at C tier. He's not. I never had a problem fighting him. He's squishy. His ultimate is just kills himself. That's what that ultimate should be called. Basically, kill myself. That's what that ult does. Now Chronos B. He's not being played, but he does counter Loki kind of hard with the ult and the stun. Cuckoo Lane is gonna be at A plus to I'm putting him. I'm gonna put him at A. Can I put him please at the middle, please? Please with the cherry on top. Oh my. Okay, fine. A plus. Cuckoo Lane got buffed for some reason. I don't think he needed a buff. I just think that these gods need a nerf. But Cuckoo Lane got buffed, so he's really strong now. He does a lot of damage. He can transform really easily. He's a huge counter Loki because of his constant dot damage, especially when Mystical Male got buffed too. It's just, this god is crazy. Very good against Loki. And you can't kill him, really, so. Cupid. Okay, so, D. So Cupid is very easy to fight against. So, first off, Cupid only has 2 normal damaging abilities. No, 1. I'm sorry. Oh, see, no one plays Cupid. I forgot about his abilities. He only has 1 damaging ability in his entire kit. That's normal. So, with his ult, that's 2. But his ultimate is delayed. And Loki is immune to slows. So if Cupid ults me first, I can just stealth out of it. If I go in and he ults, well, he'll be dead before his ult procs. So, and Cupid's 1 can be countered by Loki's decoy. If you decoy in front of him, he'll hit the decoy rather than you. And his dash is a dash, not an leap, which means you cannot escape Loki's ultimate. This god sucks. Don't play him. He's not good. And Loki just poops on him. Yeah. Dodgy. Now, Dodgy is actually kind of annoying. I'm putting her at B plus. A. Yeah. So Loki counters her, but she counters you. So if she hits you first, you're kind of screwed because of all the dot damage. So you can never run away from this character if she hits you first. And her ultimate too. However, if you see her, she theoretically can never attack you. How? So every time she tries to teleport to you, you can use your vanish to cancel her 3. And actually, I believe her 3 goes into cooldown, which allows you to attack her. But another reason why she's kind of up there is because every time you attack her, she ults. And her ult is so fast that you won't be able to burst her by the time she goes up there. And since because you use all your abilities, you're gonna get pulled and you're gonna die. So I'm putting out her A. I'll just put her A. She's trouble. Whoever attacks, if you attack her first and she doesn't have her ult up, she's dead because your ult counters her too. So she can't fender or brutalize you. Because that's what this ability is. It's basically her 2 is Fender 3, but controllable, and you gain movement speed and you gain mitigations from behind. Oh yeah, that too. I haven't tested that actually. If she activates her 2 and then Loki ults her, oh no, it does. Yeah. So Loki's ultimate, the damage is applied first and then the stun, which is why you cannot ult Nemesis shield, because the damage is applied first, the shield reflects it, gains health, deals damage to you, and then she's stunned. So if you were to ult Dodgy in her too, your ultimate I think will deal half damage. I think it's 40 or 50% mitigation. So yeah, that's interesting. So I'll put out A. It's Discordia. So she's kind of trash, like the worst mage in the game. She just dies. If she's in her little circle, throw your decoy on it. It's free damage. If she walks out of it, she's dead. Her ultimate can be easily avoided. All you have to do is back up. She charges. She throws apple and ult her. Now the apple goes away and you're behind her. Wow. The only thing that counters you is if she uses her leap at the same time as you ult her, which can be done. Her jump is very instant. That's the only reason why she's not a D tier, because she has a leap. Oh, I need more water. Be right back. Okay, I return with more water. Erlong Shen. Okay, so he is not being played much at all. So I'm putting him at A here. He would be higher, but I'm putting, because he's not being played, putting him at A. So Erlong Shen is very interesting. He can, obviously he's a hard counter to you. He can taunt you out of your stealth. He can knock you up into that stupid combo. He can pin you, auto you until the root and pin is over. You know, turtle you, and you're dead. So he's very frustrating. However, he is not being played, so who cares? Fafnir. Forgot this god exists. B, because he has stun lock. Fenrir. B, because he has a stun. That's about it. You can ult his ult. You as well as vanish his brutalize. So he can theoretically never vanish, or he can never brutalize you. As soon as he starts brutalizing, you just vanish and poof. Freya. So Freya's gonna be at a B here. Freya, the only thing that counters you is her whoop, but her whoop is 100% dealable or manageable. Just don't max your decoy. If it's a 1v1, don't max your decoy. If you are, so you're in solo lane and she's whooping your decoy. Cool. Okay, so now the wave just gets close to your tower. That's about it. Because a smart Loki would activate the decoy beforehand. So let's say the minions are coming through her tower. You want to throw your decoy at her tower, so then she would whoop it, and by the time it goes and clashes with the minions, you can whoop again, and you can decoy again, and she can't whoop it. So all she does is make you use twice the amount of resources to clear the wave. So that means you'll be twice as slow. You know, you require double the decoys to clear the wave. And that's really about it. It's all she does. People think like she's such a huge counter Loki. Like, yeah, but if you just don't go near her, she can't hurt you. And because Loki has the ability of not being near people, it's not hard. And plus, she has to focus on clearing. She's one of those gods where she cannot poke and clear at the same time. So she has to shoot, and then she waits awkwardly until her 2 comes back up, and then she keeps shooting. That's all she does. Late game, you can just kill her. She's just so easy to kill. Also, every time you see Freya use her 2 and her 1, throw your decoy, and you can never be hit by her, ever. Ganesh is going to be at a B+ here. He's not being played. I don't see him being played that often. The only thing that counters is 2. Geb is going to be at an A+, no S. This god is the dumbest thing ever. He needs to be nerfed. It gives you what, 600 to 700 shield for every like 10 seconds ish. With max cooldown, I don't know his base. I think it's 15 or 18 seconds. This thing should have a 30 bloody second cooldown. This thing does so much. It cleanses slow and it gives you 700 shield. Oh, but Loki, that's only 2 things. Well, it's those 2 things that makes it so much. It's way too much. Not only that, but he is the fastest rotating guardian in the game. He can slow you. He can knock you up. Deal lots of damage. Did you know his base damage off of his 1 is 400? I think he has the highest base damage in the entire game for just a normal ability. A guardian, guys. A guardian. His 1 does 400 base damage with like 50% scaling. His 2 does 1,000,000 damage. And his ultimate does a percentage of your max health. So you're always going to lose like 30% of your health if he ults you first. And it stuns you for 2 seconds. Wow. And he has a passive that makes him immune to crits, essentially. So what a great god design. Okay, Guan Yu. This god is never played. I'm putting him at B+, because he can heal the wave, which is very hard for Loki. If you decoy the wave and he heals it, that makes you where you have to, use more decoys. As well as he has the ability to poke and clear. he can use his 2 on you or the wave, and then use his 3 on you or the wave. Like he has multiple abilities to deal damage, that deal AoE, and his ultimate is very good too. All in all, annoying character, but he isn't being played, so who cares? Hachiman. So this so um uh his ult is the only his ult in his 3 is really the only reason that makes him kind of beat. He also deals a lot of damage. Um his ult can hit you when you're invisible. So unfortunately, he can he can kind of know where you are. If you vanish, he'll shoot like he'll shoot instantly as soon as you vanish to know exactly where you are. And he can stun you. That's really about it. Everywhere else, it's kind of easy to fight him at late game. Just kill him. Hades. SS tier. No, that's an inside joke. So Hades is interesting because he's not being played, so I'm putting a B plus, but he did get buffed. He is pretty hard to deal with. He has a fear, and he has an ult. But fortunately for Loki, if he ults, you can ult, so there's not much really about that. I'm going to bed anyways. My eyes are burning. Yeah, he's not fun, or he is fun to play. He sucks. He's not being played. If he ults you, you can ult out. And the only thing that can really hurt you is his fear when you try to vanish. So if you vanish, he fears you, you're kind of screwed. Hebo's gonna be at a B here. B plus. Oh my god, should I count his damage? Yeah, if I count his damage, is B plus. If I don't count his damage, is B. So he's a B plus simply because he deals way too much damage and can kill you instantly. And 2, his carpet and his ult. So his ultimate, if you ult Hebo and he ults, for some reason, if you ult his ult, you take damage half the time. So if you ult Hebo as he's ulting, you'll sometimes get hit, but then sometimes you won't get hit. I don't know, this game is not consistent. Bottom line is that he can hit you with his ultimate even though you're behind him. So that probably means that it's kind of annoying. You have to kill him before he ults. If he ults, you're kind of screwed. And his carpet. If any Hebo players who are watching this, to counter Loki, throw your carpet in a direction, stand in it, and just look around for the word immune to pop up. If you see the word immune to pop up, it means Loki is on your carpet. So what this should tell you is that Loki's there and therefore is about to kill you. But it's common sense, guys. And he also moves really fast and he slows you. So you are immune to slow, but as soon as you auto attack, it's like when you drive and you instantly press the brake. So you're driving, 50 miles per hour, and then you instantly stop the brake, and then you kind of just clash, right? So that's the same thing for Loki. You're immune to slows, and as soon as you auto attack, you immediately stagger and just stop moving because the slow is immediately applied to you, which makes it really hard to hit Hebo because he's also moving 50% faster for some reason. Yes, Hebo. Hell, B plus, can poke you really easily and deal damage. She can heal herself, heal other people, apply Lotus Crown, CC immune people, reduce your protections. Thought it was a lot of things. The only thing, I should put her B. The only reason why I'm putting her at B compared to anywhere else is because she's not being played and she's also pretty garbage. So Hera, Hera's gonna be B plus here. Her 2 hard counters you, and that's about it. Oh, and her shield. Sorry, her shield and her 2 hard counters you. If you avoid the 2. Then you gotta worry. Then you gotta worry about shield. The shield is crazy. I don't know how much healing it gives you or how much shields it gives you, but it's pretty much like half of Geb's, I think. And it gives her movement speed, so it's not fun. If you watched my recent decoy montage, there was that one point where I trapped Hera with my decoy, and she lived because she used her stupid shield. Hercules. Hercules is gonna be at a B here. The only thing he counters you with is his 1. That's about it. Horace is gonna be at A here. Horace is very frustrating to fight against. He does 1 million damage at level 1. He can stun you. He can knock you up. He can slow you. Well, slow doesn't really matter. But the bottom line is that he can stun you and knock you up, which gives more time to his teammates to kill you. And that makes it where you can't ult either. That's really about it. Oh, Hu Yi is going to be at S here. Hu Yi right now is incredibly strong. So he can reveal you. He can knock you up when he reveals you. And he can stun you. And as well, here's one more, guys. Because it's a crit meta and you build crit on Loki most of the time, he has a passive that makes him immune to crits once every 5 seconds. Or not, that's not how that works. Once you're critted, you can't be critted again for the next 5 seconds. That's his passive. So in other words, you can only crit him once per Loki fight. Because Loki kills a person less than 2 seconds. His passive lasts longer than 2 seconds. So in other words, he is extremely good. I'm gonna, one of these guys needs to get S plus here. Minimum S. In fact, for everyone who was watching this, the build is crit for Loki, but if you're not building, if you're fighting against a Hu Yi, you have to change your build to pen build. However, you cannot go back to the normal pen build. That is outdated. You'll have 50% cooldown, which is not efficient. There's this I'll make a new video that'll explain all the builds, but for now, just stay tuned. Hunbats is going to be at a here. The only he's being played quite often, and the only thing that's really counters uses ultimate. Let's see here. Isis is going to be an A+. She's kind of being played. Not as much as season 6 for some reason, but I think she's still stupidly strong. I don't know why people are not picking her up. But hey, no one's really banning her. So for 3, gives people shield, slows you, silences you, she can stun you, she gives everyone mitigations. This god is a load of BS. Okay, Izanami, so she's gonna be at C here. Only reason why she's not a D is because she can jump out of your ults. Loki hard counters her. So if she decides to activate her 1, you can use your decoy to block her auto attacks. If she activates her, or if you hit her first, she cannot stealth, because if she does, the bleed will reveal her. If she ults you, you can ult her back. Blah, blah, blah. She's not hard to fight. Just kill her. Giannis. C. The only reason why he's not a D is because technically he can teleport out of your ult. And he has high mobility. Those are the only 2 reasons why he's not a D tier. He is a very easy god to kill. The only problem is getting to him. However, because there are broken relics in this game, there's only 3 broken relics in this game. Beads, Aegis, and Blink. So Blink allows you to basically hack your way to the person in front of you and kill them. He's dead. If he portals on the ground, well, he's dead. It doesn't matter. It's who kills first. And Jonas cannot 100-0 you with 1 ability. And you can use your beads to be immune to his 1 completely. If he teleports through a wall, you can chase him with your ult. Anyway, Jingwei. Jingwei's gonna be at a B+ here. I know there's a lot of people at B+ here, but they're hard to fight against, but they're not necessarily good that they counter you. You know, none of these gods are specifically designed that hard counters you to the point where you need to watch out for them. Jingwei can easily be killed in 2 seconds, no problem. It's just that because it's crit meta, if she hits you first from a distance, you're pretty screwed. And her ultimate's pretty good. She can ult out of you, not out of your ult, but she can pretty much, if you don't kill her, she can get a free escape. Jormungandr, A. Look, this god is picked up. He can knock you up. He can see where you are. He does a lot of damage. Nothing else to say. Kali is going to be at an S here. Kali is the best assassin. Kamazal is not an assassin. He's a bloody warrior. Kali is the only assassin in this game. As far as I know, maybe I might change my mind in a second here, but Kali is the only assassin in this game that is a huge counter to Loki. Why? Because she can't die for 4 seconds. Yes, everybody, she cannot die for 4 seconds. So, yeah, well, you know what that means? The god of death, also known as Loki, cannot kill you. So, she's a hard counter to that. I'm afraid of collies. I'm 100% afraid of them. I don't know how to really fight them. All I know is how to run away from them. But because I'm Loki, my goal is to kill squishies, and she is a squishy. So I can try to kill her. But most collies' reaction times are pretty good. So they'll always activate their 4 before they die. And if you ult her, then you're really screwed. I'm starting to realize that the only way to kill her is without ult. Because in case she does ult, you can ult out. And hope and pray to God she can't catch as you go. Because she has blink, she has her 1. She can catch up to you easily peasy. So yeah, very good god to counter. I'm going to move one of these guys to S+. No one is SS. SS means like you can't fight them and you'll never win. A Kepri, definitely gonna be at A here. He does one thing and that's ult. King Arthur, B+. A. No. I'm having PTSD now. King Arthur, the reason why he's anything higher is because he has to either clear or poke. As long as you're not on the wave, he cannot poke and clear you. So if you watch Dragon Story, or if you watch me, or if any other good Loki players, they would essentially hide in the jungle when near the totem tiki in the soul lane. So Arthur cannot poke you and clear you at the same time. If you're in the lane, he can do that. He also takes 40.5 years to clear anything. So he's clear is kind of garbage. Not garbage, but I'm exaggerating a little bit, so cut me some slack. But he's annoying. He does a lot of damage, and that's all he really does. Late game, he does nothing. Kukulkan, A+. He's tornado. Holy crap! It's the only thing. Well, there's a bit more. His 1 does 1 million damage, his 3 does 2 million damage, and his 4 does 4 million damage. So that's the problem here. The problem is that if Kukulkan, so in this meta, Chronos Pendant start is the way to go. So you go tier 2 Chronos Pendant, you finish boots, you back, get full Chronos, right? Something like that. You have 30% cooldown in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Wow. I don't know his cooldown for his 3. It's around 15 seconds. But the thing is, with cooldown, but by the time it goes away, you only have like less than 2 seconds of window opportunity to do anything to him. And then he pops another tornado. That and his ult is a very naturally, no, his ult is naturally on a 75 or 85 second cooldown. So it's always faster than other gods. So if you ult him, he's going to ult 2, so you're going to get hit by his ultimate most likely. His 1 does a lot of damage. His 2 makes him really fast. So it's hard to vanish to Kukulkan because they're always going to dash away. So the only way to kill Kukulkan is if you get blink, essentially. Also, Book of the Dead. That's always, yeah, this god's super annoying. Kumbhakarna is going to be at a B+ here. Is about Kumbhakarna. In my experience, the best way to avoid him is just to not go near him. I know that might be complicated, but it's just true. Kumbhakarna is not a passive god. He's an aggressive god, which means that he doesn't sit in the back line and protect people. He goes in the front line and tries to initiate. So that means you'll most of the time be able to kill his squishies without him being there. So I'm putting him at B+ specifically for that reason. It could be at A, but I'm putting my B+ for his experience. Kuzenbo, what does he do again? Put him at B just to be generous, because I do find him a little bit annoying because of crit. So I haven't fought Kuzenbo at all this season because no one plays as god. But I have a feeling he will be picked up a lot more because of crit meta. So that's why I'm being generous and putting him at B. The only thing that really counters you is his 3, and that's really about it. If you attack him, you're dead. Loki's gonna be at a Loki versus Loki. Oh my god, dude. So Loki counters Loki. So I'm putting him at A here. I don't know what I did for my last tier list. But Loki is interesting because he has... Because of Aphrodite. Well, I don't know. Oh man, this is... Loki can never touch Loki. That's how that works. That's why it's a counter. If Loki initiates first, the other Loki will counter initiate and you'll die. So in other words, whoever attacks first will lose, essentially. If I am playing Loki and there's an enemy Loki, if I attack his teammates, he's going to kill me before I get to kill him. So it's really difficult. But also, if you watch my videos, you can ult yourself when Loki's on your back to ult him. So you're ulting his ult. Again, this god just counters you. In terms of laning phase, no. It's the easiest thing ever. All Lokis will be respect other Lokis and just they'll only clear until like they can fight each other. Once they fully clear, then they'll fight each other. That's how that works. So I'm gonna put him at B plus here. Medusa C. Oh no. D. I forgot she doesn't have a dash or a leap. She has no leap, so she can be ulted. Her ult is garbage because you can totally negate her entire ultimate by ulting her. She says, "Look into my eyes." Well, here's the thing: Loki doesn't look into your eyes. What he looks at is your sweet lats in the back. So yeah. Also, your decoy counters are 1. And that's really about it. She's kind of trash. She's easy to kill. Mercury. Now, Mercury here. I'm putting Mercury at A here. Aphrodite is the only reason. He ults, Aphrodite procced, he can kill you very easily. He's also very fast and very hard to chase and kill as well. Merlin, B plus. Merlin is interesting because he does a lot of damage and he can blink out of your ultimate, and that's the only reason about it. If he blinks and if you still have your ultimate, you can kill him. If he uses his fire stance first, though, you're kind of dead. Neith. So Neith's gonna be C here. Simply. Why, chat? Because she has a leap, and that's about it. Her ult is kind of useless because you're invisible. She can't ult you if you're invisible. Nemesis is gonna be a B here. She would be at A, but no one plays her, and that's that. Her shield counters you, and that's it. Nadja. Let's see. Nadja is gonna be at a B plus. A really good Nadja would be at A. A really good Nadja would never miss any abilities, but most Nadjas do miss their abilities, and they're mostly support, so they won't kill you. They're really setup characters. And is that's really about it. Her one can make your decoy backstab you. So if you throw your decoy, he can throw his one so he can keep ricocheting back and forth. That's really the only reason. Nike, who is this god? Doesn't do anything. Nox. Nox is gonna be okay. Nox is definitely at. She's gonna be at A. She will be at A plus, but she's at A because she's not played. New Wa is gonna be at A because she's not played. Just Nox can remove your Spanish. New Wa can stun you with the minions, and she has invisibility that allows her to be immune to your ultimate. Odin. Now here's the new Odin. You guys are gonna be like thinking, why? This is impossible. Okay, so on paper, Odin would probably be at A plus or A, but because of my experience with Odin, I don't find him that threatening. As long as you keep your distance, I know this is like, oh, but keep your distance, but I'm being serious. He cannot know where you are if you're constantly just 5 feet away from him or 10 feet away from him. His 3 is a pulse, which can tell you where you're at, but just don't go near him. He has to use his 3 to clear the wave, so he can't poke and damage you at the same time. His ultimate, you can just ult out of it. Yes, you'll take damage, but it's not that much. So it's not... No, it is a lot, but it's not enough to kill you, because no Loki should be low on HP with an Odin, because if he ults you, you should be ulting out immediately. His ultimate, so you can actually break his cage now, and because Loki's progression changes very fast, you can break the cage fairly easily. We'll put him at A just because I know other people are going to disagree with that placement, but I think he's B plus. Oleron is going to be at B plus. The only thing that counters is his 3 and his ult. He's pretty immobile. You can kill him, and that's really about it. If his ult's down, you kill him. If he has his ult up, you're pretty much screwed. Oh, also, his ult doesn't work on your ult because your ult is so fast. You can just ult out of his ult. Osiris is going to be at A plus. He is or S. Shoot. You guys could choose. I think he's S, actually, because he is very annoying. He can always throw abilities at you. He can poke and clear at the same time. He knows where you are with the tether. He's super annoying. He's immune to physical damage. Like, he is super. Whoa, what did I do? Control Z. I think I moved something. I don't know what I did. I think I left clicked and I moved something. I think I put Hunbats. Yeah. Okay. Pele. Pele is nuts, but because she's not being played, I'm putting her at B plus. If she was being played, I'll put her A. She has way too much damage, and she does way too well early game and mid game. Persephone. Persephone's gonna be at A. She can't die. So that's the reason why people ban her, guys, is because she does so much damage with her stupid creeps or flowers, and even if you kill her, she can still ult you. In my opinion, I don't think she should be able to ult when she dies, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's really about it. You can ult out of her ult though, so if she cages you, you can just ult out of it. The biggest counter to her though, to Loki, is her leap. Her leap is instant, so the amount of times she ulted or she jumped out of my ult is just crazy. Poseidon is going to be a B plus. He's not being played. If he was, he'd be put A. He's very fast, and that's really about it. Ra is gonna be at A. He's not being played that much, but still, he's very good against Loki. His two can make you. He will know where you are with his 2 because the immune pop up. His heal gives like 50-40 protections for some bloody reason. Yeah, very annoying, very hard to kill god. Very fast too. Raijin. Raijin's gonna be an A here. He reveals you to his entire team, and he does a lot of damage. And he has a leap, but because his leap is delayed, technically he can't jump out of your ult. So I'm just gonna leave him at A. Rom is gonna be at a B plus or a B. He has no way to escape your ult. The only reason why he's not at C or D is because of crit. He does way too much damage, and he has a massive steroid for attack speed. Tasker is gonna be at a B plus. Oh man, I'm so tired. B plus. He knows where you are with his 2. He can stun you. He's very annoying. But the thing about Ratatosker is he falls off late. Robin is gonna get an A here. He can't die, and he does a lot of damage. He can heal, gains mitigations. You guys get the gist. Sylla is gonna be at a C. It's very easy to kill Sylla. She's not a D because she can use her 3 to avoid your ult, and she can still kill you fairly easily if she lands her 1. But if she lands her 1, you can just ult her. I don't know. She's kind of just whatever. Serket is going to be an A here. She would be higher on the list, but Decoy counters her way too hard. So you throw the decoy, she can't 2 you, and she can actually ult the decoy instead of you. That's the only reason. Set A+. This god has constant AoE damage. They can reveal you with the dot damage, and you can't kill him, and he kills you. Scotty B+. So her entire kit is trash except for her permafrost. Her little she makes the ground like a slippery slide. So that's the only thing that really counters. If she stands in that, you can't really hit her, unfortunately. Her dog, where she jumps at you, you can stealth out or ult out. So who cares? Sobek. Rick Sobek. Useless. I mean, he can pluck you out of your stealth, and that's about it. You can ult out of his ult. You can ult out of him. I don't. It doesn't matter. Soul's gonna be C, very easy to kill. Use your decoy to block her too. Her ult's kind of trash. Yeah, that's really bad. The only thing that makes her not from a D character is her invincibility, which doesn't really matter either because you can kill her fast enough. But because she can constantly heal herself, that's also a problem. Sum Kong is gonna be at a C as well. He can't really do anything that can reveal Loki besides his tiger stance, and you can easily just do a U shape and avoid his tiger because his tiger has horrible sharp turns. He cannot poke and clear at the same time because you'll be in the side jungle and he has to go up to the minion wave. All in all, not that big of a problem. I said that Summer Kong was a bad character. Some people got triggered in the comments. I understand, I didn't word that correctly, but what I mean by when Summer Kong isn't good, I meant that to Loki. Everything that I say is basically to the perspective of Loki. Susanoo is going to be at A here. He hard counters Loki kind of with his 3, his 2, his big giant circles. He always knows where you are. The reason why I don't put him at A+ or S is because you can kill him. Sylvanas is going to be at A here. His dots reveal you, gives people's protections, and he can root you and pull you out of invisibility. Hera. Tara's gonna be at 8 here. How long have I been recording? It's about to be 1 hour of record. I really thought to myself, I'm gonna do this a 10-minute recording. Tara can stun you, can root you, does so much damage to you, heal their teammates. She's very annoying. Thanatos, B+. No, let's put him at B here. You can block his scythe with his 1. With yours, what am I talking about? I'm not making sense, guys. I'm sorry. You can use your decoy to block his 1, so he's kind of useless. Your vanish counters his ultimate because he can't see you when he ults when you vanish. So if you have a skull on you, go invisible and it goes away for 4 seconds. You can still be executed, but he can't see it for 4 seconds. He's also very killable because he builds damage. Morgan A+. So this god, now this is very biased, but I think Morgan is such a broken character. And she is impossible to fight against. She has stealth for 6 seconds, whereas yours is 4. She moves faster than you. Oh my god, and it has the same cooldown as Loki, which is like 15 seconds. So, but here's the thing: mages have Chronos pendant. That makes her vanish 1 second. But Loki has malice, to be fair. But Morgan's stealth is still better than Loki's. People always like to say, "Oh, but you can deal damage to Morgan to reveal." Look, a smart Morgan would vanish way before you can even deal damage to her because she's invisible for 4 seconds and she moves 40% faster. You can have 2 seconds of stealth that gives you 50% movement speed, and that will be the same as 4 seconds stealth and 35% movement speed, for example. Bottom line is, the more movement speed you have, the longer you're invisible because the distance is shorter between places because you move faster. Thor does a lot of damage, can stun you from a distance. Very, very good. Very, 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 very. Can ult, can jump, can use, he can use his one to escape your ult too. Thoth. He's very annoying, but if you have blink, you can kill him. You can't ult you because you can ult him. That's really about it. Tyr. Tyr. Putting a B here. He's not played. He does nothing. The only thing that gets you out of stealth is his one in his offense stance. Very predictable. Very easy to fight against. Shouldn't be a problem. Uller is going to be at A here. While it is true that Decoy can block his axe, the odds... The thing is, during a team fight, he can still... It's hard. So his damage is way too high. He just kills your entire team. That's the problem. He gets so fed off of killing your entire team that your decoy trick on Uller doesn't even matter. He can just kill you. That's why I'm putting him at A. Vamana is... what does the god do again? It's like the Avatar, the Last Airbender character. They haven't changed his avatar. Vamana is interesting. So I'm putting him at a B here. He can kind of see you with his 2 and his 3. But if he ults you, it can't hit you. If he ults, you just vanish, you walk away. Vulcan is gonna be an A here. Very slippery, very hard to kill. He can use his decoy, or he can use his turret to block your auto attacks. He can meatball you. Very fast. Very annoying. I don't have to say much more about that. Superlong King is gonna be a C here. Use your decoy to block his poison darts. The only reason why I think he's not a D is because of his ultimate, the blind. Very strong. That's about it. Xing Shen is gonna be at A here. He can knock you up. Very annoying. Knock up is a broken CC combo. That's about it. And his one reduces your auto damage by 50%. And since Loki relies on auto damage, that's a really huge nerf. Yamonja. Yamonja's gonna be an A+ here on paper. So she can give people health and shield. Very good. Her ultimate reveals you to everyone. So if you're in Yamonja's ultimate, everyone can see you. Hence the exclamation marks above your head. Stunlock you. Yeah, this god's stupid. Ymir. C+, very slow, very predictable, very easy to maneuver against. That's about it. Zeus. C. He's not... The only reason why he's not a D is because he can kill you really quickly. But besides that, he's very immobile. You can kill him fairly quickly, easily. Zhong Kui. I mean, when it comes to Zeus, it's whoever kills each other the fastest. Zhong Kui is gonna be at a B here. He's not being played. His ult counter, you can ult out of his ult. He's very avoidable. Just walk away from him. You're immune to his slow. He can see you, though, in his dots. If he marks you with his 1, that is a bit of a troublesome. He can also stun you if you get too close. And that's the thing. He's a good counter to Loki if you get close to him. But if you don't get close to him, he can't really do anything to you. That's really about it. Oh, we're over. We're done. Woohoo. So, in my opinion, I think this is how it should be. I mean, it doesn't matter, S or S+, it's the same thing. The bottom line is that these gods right here is who you want to completely avoid. These gods here are the gods you want to avoid, but can deal with if you're really good. These gods here are, gods who you want to watch out for, but they're not impossible to deal with. You don't have to, and in these gods here, you don't have to really watch out for, but they can cause issues for you. These are the gods that they'll never be a problem to you, but they can if you let them. And C, they'll never be a problem. That's it. They can only kill you based on damage. D, they'll never ever be a problem for you unless you suck at the game so badly. Like Outwash, no one plays as God. The least played God, and he has the lowest win ratio, I think. One of the worst win ratios. Cupid, he only has one damaging ability, does absolutely nothing. His ultimate is useless on Loki. Medusa, ultimate is completely useless on Loki. It'll deal 0 damage to Loki. And the decoy completely counters her one, and she can't escape. Same thing with all these, yeah. So all these gods are super easy to fight against. And yeah. Avoid these gods. These gods are disgustingly strong against Loki. Please, 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 please avoid them. Ban them if you can. I would move Kepri a little bit higher, but he's only an ult bot, so he's kind of useless for everyone else. My throat is dying. Talking for 1 hour straight hurts. That's gonna be about it, guys. I hope you guys all enjoy. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about this tier list, feel free to ask. Why is this god here? Why is this god not here? Blah 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 blah. And please be lenient. I'm aware S plus kind of the same thing. A plus kind of the same thing. B plus kind of the same thing. So just think of this as like a S, A, B, C, and D. And that's about it. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'm gonna stream. I'm not gonna end the stream here. I'm not streaming right now. I'm actually recording a video, and I'm gonna see you guys all Loki and non-Loki players next time.